And with just days to spare, the Senate passed a bill to raise the debt ceiling. That bill will suspend the debt limit through next year and imposes new spending caps. Lawmakers scramble to get this legislation through to avoid a serious government default. Now that measure goes to President Joe Biden's desk for his signature. Joining me now to discuss this and more is global strategist Dr. Olaf Groth with UC Berkeley's Haas School of Business. So thank you very much for joining us once again. There's a lot at stake here. So what happens with this now that the debt ceiling has finally been signed, or a bill to raise the debt ceiling has finally been signed?
Yeah, Ryan, between that and the jobs numbers we just got, it's a very good week for economics. And having averted this major economic crisis, one could have described it as a potential meltdown in not just the U.S. economy, but with global ripple effects here with the debt ceiling crisis, is indeed, I think, the best news that anybody in the world who is interested in economics and dependent on it would have to recognize, right? It would have started with a bond meltdown, right? The United States holds $25 trillion of sovereign debt bonds, about a third globally. That would have had an implication on short-term lending in the United States to the tune of $4 trillion. All of that thrown up in the air in terms of the value of that. We would have seen unemployment go up likely to something near 5%, the U.S. economy coming down in overall GDP by maybe 1% or so, which is a massive number given GDP today. And so this is all good news, not to mention the fact that this spending bill does not touch the president's spending priorities for the next couple of years. So that means a lot of money will keep flowing here from the CHIPS Act, from the IRA, and other measures. And so that's good news for innovators and really anybody in California who is tying into those monies.
You mentioned Wall Street. A recent picture of an explosion and fire at the Pentagon went viral, even seeing a dip in the stock market, except problem was the picture wasn't real and likely be AI generated. So can we expect more of these AI hoaxes to have some real world consequences?
Yeah, definitely a yes on that one. We had about a couple of thousand, 15,000 or so by one estimate in 2018, these deep fakes. Today, we're seeing about 1 million of them out there. And this one wasn't even that well done and caused a ruckus. When you listen to the experts analyzing the image, you see that a lot of the structures in the image were actually badly imitated. And so it was fairly easy to see that that wasn't real. But it still rattled people's cages around the world, was picked up by RT, the Russian PR TV station that had to then retract it later, only because people suspend disbelief and they see something where they can create noise and get emotionally involved, even if it's not that well done. And we're definitely going to be seeing more of that. And we desperately need some kind of watermarking certification process to make sure that the stuff that we put out there is in fact the truth. It's got veracity, because otherwise, what are we going to base our decisions on? Disinformation, misinformation would have a major impact on decision making, resource flows, social justice, et cetera, et cetera. So we got to do something about this, and otherwise we're going to slide into a big distrust revolution here.
Yeah, and it's so tough, especially when those images hit social media. It just takes off like a wave once it goes viral. The U.S. and EU officials met in Sweden this week to discuss AI and possible regulations. Are we actually closer to having regulations and standards for AI?
Well, that's the big question, right? The EU has led the way here with the EU AI Act. The United States is now becoming a lot more serious about regulation, not yet in place for the most part, but forthcoming. And the unifying factor here on AI anyway is China. The EU is issuing its new economic security policy, and that, of course, has China firmly in its view, as is the case with the United States. So there is common ground. There's also common ground on abuse, as we were just talking about, of AI for disinformation, misinformation, bias, weaponization, et cetera, within our societies. So, yeah, there's lots of common ground, even if on other fronts like green energy subsidies in the U.S. and Europe, chip subsidies, et cetera, we still have a ways to go to agree.
It seems like world leaders are actually very concerned about AI right now.
very concerned because, of course, it takes the social fabric apart, right? So it creates, of course, a lot of wealth in the pockets of those people that design, market, capitalize, and fund those technologies. And of course, there's a lot of conveniences that come with it. There is tremendous growth horizons, but there is equal horizons of doing damage in society, all the way up to taking our democratic system apart. And of course, we got to avoid that. And that's of concern on both sides of the Atlantic and beyond.
Well, Dr. Olaf Groth, always great talking to you, especially when I know it's a Friday and we're about to head into our weekend. So thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Ryan. Always good to be with you.